Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Sorry it's been a little while since my last video, but I've been super busy with work, just back-to-back trips. So I thought I would come back to you with one of my favourite videos to film, which is a foundation testing video, and I haven't done one in such a long time. So today I'm going to be testing the Urban Decay All-Nighter Foundation. I've heard good and bad things, so I'm a little bit unsure. I've worn it once in my previous video actually, but I wanted to do a full-on testing where I applied it in the day, tested it for a good 8 hours just to see how it performs, as my skin is temperamental with foundation. It's super oily and foundation just does not get along with my skin, so I'm excited to see how this works. So if you are a returning subscriber, hey, welcome back. But if you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe down below, as my goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of 21. I am so close, yet so far. So subscribe, as my channel is all about makeup, travel, lifestyle, a little bit of everything really. So moving back to the start of this video, the Urban Decay All-Nighter Foundation. So I've wanted to get this foundation for so long, but I just heard so many mixed reviews. Some people loved it, some people hated it. And I just didn't know whether to try it. And I thought, well, I'm not going to know about the foundation, how it performs, until I try it. So I got the shade 2.5, and this was a real struggle to try and actually find my shade. I mentioned in my haul video, my last video actually, that obviously in cosmetic stores, they do not have their testers out. So it was a very big guessing game when I went on the Urban Decay website to try and figure out my shade. So we will see if this is actually a good match for me. So this foundation, the reason I got it is because it's supposed to be a super matte foundation, and my skin is more on the oily side, but it's a bit of combination. Sometimes it's dry, sometimes it's oily, but it's more on the oily side. So I want to see how matte this foundation really is. So it's a full coverage, long wear, waterproof foundation. So on the website, the description of this product is: the all-nighter foundation provides a full coverage with a modern matte finish that never looks overdone, getting serious, long-lasting wear and a blown-out effect you never thought it was possible. Perfect for all-night affairs and other scandalous activities. Our revolutionary formula is also comfortable enough to wear every day. While Naked Skin complexion products are demi-matte, All-Nighter Foundation is completely matte, but never flat and oil-free. We have loaded this formula with an insane amount of pigment, about 3 times as much as the Naked Skin liquid makeup, so a little goes a long way. There is no need to build coverage or apply multiple layers. This waterproof, paraben-free formula diffuses light to blur flaws for beautifully perfect skin, as it mattifies and absorbs oil to reduce the appearance of shine. So there are 24 shades of this foundation, and I believe they have released a few more shades since they actually released the product. I think there was a few complaints about the shade range. So yeah, I really hope 2.5 suits my skin, because I find it so difficult to find the perfect shade for my skin tone. My skin tone is just weird. So they have a few tips for application on their website for this product. You can find all of this on the Urban Decay website. The formula always applies beautifully, but for best results, apply with one of our Urban Decay Pro Foundation brushes. And for even longer wear, set with the All-Nighter Makeup Setting Spray, which I actually have that setting spray, so I will be using that at the end. I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely love the packaging for this makeup, and I tried to sort of match. I absolutely love it. I think the packaging is stunning. It's so creative. It's so Urban Decay. That's what I love about the brand, is just they're so out there with their packaging. So a few more bits that are actually on the bottle. So there is 1 fluid ounce of foundation, which is, I think, pretty much normal for most foundations out there. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much, I think I've said everything else I need to say about the product before application. The only other thing I want to say is that I actually don't have the Urban Decay foundation brush, so I can't test it the way they're recommending to. However, I'm going to be using a damp beauty blender, which is the way I apply all of my foundation, so I feel like it's fair that I keep things consistent. So before I start applying the foundation, I've already popped on some simple day cream. I've left it on for about 30 minutes or so now, just to let it soak in, as I don't like to apply foundation too early before the moisturizer actually settles into my skin. The only other thing I've done is I popped a little bit of the Got To Be hair glue on my brows to give them a laminated effect. I do have a tutorial on my TikTok if you want to see how I do that, so there is a link to my TikTok on my YouTube channel. So let's get into it. It did say that you don't need to apply that much. So I'm gonna follow their recommendations. I'm just gonna pop a little bit on my beauty blender. Oh, it's quite a thick consistency. It's definitely not going anywhere on the beauty blender anyway until I blend it into my skin. So as you can see, I've literally got the tiniest bit just to start off with to see how far that goes. I think I might need a little bit more than that. I might pop it on my hand actually. The colour is good so far. In fact, I think that's a perfect match. As you can see on this side, I've actually got quite a few blemishes, and because of wearing masks at work, I've got quite a few on my chin as well. So it would be good to test them against blemishes to see if they actually cover them well. It is oxidising quite quickly on my face. That's one thing I will point out. It did say it doesn't have to be a buildable coverage, but if you want to build it up, you probably can. It feels weird, I haven't worn foundation in probably a good month, so it feels weird putting it back on again. So I'm having to go back in with another pump. But I'm going to keep doing what they say, just pump a little bit, use that up, so I'm not wasting the product. But it's applying really well actually with the beauty blender. But it's covered my blemishes quite well. I also do have a lot of redness around my nose. That's from having breakouts as a teenager. And it's also covering the redness too, which is fantastic. I'm not actually one for caking foundation on. I know people, when they put foundation on, they like it to look like they're wearing foundation. Whereas for me, it's more so like I just wear concealer and foundation to even out my skin tone. But yeah, I just feel like this is really doing that well. My skin is so even after applying that. So yeah, I haven't used a massive amount and it has gone a long way. So Urban Decay is right there. So that's the foundation on, and I have to say, foundations that go straight on my skin, they just feel horribly oily until I powder. But this, it is not fully matte, but it is substantially matte, I have to say. If you look at that. Don't get me wrong, you can still see a few blemishes, like one there. There's a couple on my chin you can see. My pores are a little bit visible, but that's fine, that doesn't particularly bother me. So yeah, I'm just gonna get the rest of my face on, I think, to give you my overall opinion after application. So I just had to scrub off the foundation that I pumped on my hand, and that took a little while to budge. So I hope my makeup comes off a little bit easier later on. But I have to say, I was just in the bathroom looking in a different light, and my skin just looks so natural. It has such a natural glow to it. I just wish my skin looked like this all the time. So that's my foundation on, all my makeup's done, and I still love it just as much as when I applied it. I just wanted to quickly mention that it was just convenient that this happened, but I went to go finish my makeup and I actually temporarily forgot to put concealer on. I don't know whether I just subconsciously thought I was wearing concealer because the coverage is that good, but I stopped. No, I'm missing concealer, so I put it on. So yeah, I am wearing concealer now, but yeah, I'm so happy with it. I also forgot to mention, I was reading up on the website while I was putting the rest of my makeup on, but the product is vegan and cruelty-free, so that's always a bonus. Normally by this point, the foundation's actually sinking into my smile lines, which it's not currently. My pores are still slightly visible after I put powder on, so are a few of my blemishes, but overall, it's a thumbs up from me. I'll give you a close-up so you can see for yourself. But yeah, overall, I'm still so happy with this product. My skin just looks absolutely flawless. Even with the powder on, I just think my skin just looks really natural, and my skin is matte. It is super matte. I am in love with it, and I just hope this lasts throughout the whole day. So it's just approaching 3 o'clock now, so I'm going to check in every few hours just to let you know how the foundation is sitting. So it's just turned 5 o'clock, so I've had the makeup on for 2 hours now, and it is so... Let me show you. No smile lines. My face is still matte. My makeup just hasn't budged at all. Like, I really am quite speechless with this foundation. I didn't expect it to go so well, this test. I was gonna say, normally within the first 2 hours of me wearing makeup is where the most change happens on my face, but as you've just seen, my makeup has just not moved at all. It still looks like I have freshly applied makeup. And I think I may have found my new favourite foundation. But we still have another 6 hours that I want to test it for, so we'll see. So I've just had my dinner. We had a roast dinner as it's Sunday and it's tradition. So I've just had a quick look at my face as well in the mirror, and it's still looking fantastic. No smile lines yet. My forehead is a little bit oily, just the tiniest little bit, and so is my chin. My pores are still looking great, so I might have a little powder in a minute. So for 4 hours in after applying my makeup, I'm still so impressed. So yeah, I will check in with you again in a few hours. So it's now been 6 hours since I've had my makeup on, and as you can probably tell, my cheeks are now starting to get quite oily as well as my forehead is. I didn't get time to powder earlier on, so I've just kind of left it. I'm just going to try and test it, I think, without topping up my powder to see how it lasts. So yeah, my chin's actually still quite good. It's not as oily as my cheeks and my forehead. I'm starting to get a bit of creasing underneath my eye, but I think that's probably more my concealer than the foundation. But yeah, it's still all on there, and as I said before, I've been wearing my glasses and it's not budged the foundation. So yeah, for 6 hours I think it's looking good. I'm actually quite amazed that it's still not sunken into my smile lines, even though I've been laughing quite a lot this evening as well. And yeah, even on my blemishes, it's slightly come off, but not massively.
Close the clip.
Right, second opinion, what do you think of my foundation?
It's a bit greasy. Like very greasy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Whereabouts?
Like your cheeks and your nose bridge and your forehead.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. A bit cakey on the chin as well.
Do you think?
Yeah.
But is it like full coverage?
Yeah, it looked better in the morning.
It looked better in the morning when I first put it on.
Only recently it became so greasy. So most of the day was 5.
So you kind of think the same as me then. So it's just approaching 10 o'clock in the evening now, and I've had the foundation on for a good 7.5 hours, I'd say, and not quite 8 like I wanted, but I feel like I have a sufficient amount of check-ins now to decide my overall opinion on the foundation, as well as I got Vic's opinion as well, and his is pretty much the same as mine. Trying to get a review out of him is just, he doesn't take YouTube seriously like I do. Nothing has pretty much changed since the last check-in. I'm still greasy on my cheeks. It's moving onto my nose now, on my forehead. In terms of my chin, I'm not actually as greasy on my chin as I normally get. I am only just starting to get greasy there, so I'm actually really impressed with that. I think overall I have concluded from this review is that you can wear this foundation all day. You probably have to powder every 3 hours or so maybe. You can maybe last longer if you have slightly less oily skin than myself. But as I mentioned, I haven't even powdered all day, so I think it's actually lasted pretty well considering. But this foundation would definitely be perfect for a night out, as it says in the name. Even though there are a few flaws with this foundation, I'm definitely sticking with the idea that this is one of my new favourite foundations that I will be wearing a lot when the mask situation goes, because I probably now won't wear makeup for a good few months, quite honestly. So that's all for today's foundation testing video. So I think my overall marks for this foundation is 8 out of 10. The reason for that is I think it's a really good foundation. It's long lasting, it's definitely matte, coverage is absolutely amazing. The bottle is beautiful, it's lovely to have in your collection. The thing that knocks a few points off for me is the price. It's a little bit pricier than normal foundation. It's definitely not drugstore, but I would definitely recommend to add it to your foundation collection. As I mentioned at the start of the video, don't forget to like this video to let me know you enjoyed, as well as don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully it's not too long until I see you guys next here on YouTube. Bye!